I think this is one of the less good rares. Yeah, the two costs for sacrificing a creature is a little bit steep. I'll just take the Impractical Joke here. Card's excellent. This is one of the best cards in the set, I believe. Together as one. I'll happily take that. Try to move into Converge here. If I'm lucky, I get to wheel the Studious First Year or the Hydro Channeler. Those would both be very good. And now I could take Sleight of Hand. I can consider Last Gasp. It's a good card. There's also Seize the Spoils. I think I'm happy enough taking Sleight of Hand, though. I could be wrong. Like, I don't have to be blue, but I think I want to be blue. I think Converge decks are usually pretty happy being base blue. And now I could take Tome Blast. There is also Bitter Triumph and End of the Hunt, but Converge doesn't always play heavy on black. There's also the Rancor's Archaic, but I think the Tome Blast is a little bit more important. Hey, here's a good land. Could also take perhaps like a Biomancer or Visionary's Dance. I think I just want the good land. Not too much here I'm excited about. It's actually the first time I'm considering the Goblin Glassrite. I think this might be okay as just like a random 2-drop that also makes a treasure for Together as One. Like, again, I could take the Last Gasp, but I'm really not convinced that I'll have a ton of want for another black card in my deck. I mean, here, do I take Forum? Maybe Forum is better than Second Goblin, I don't know. These are not really the cards I was looking for with this pick. Sure, I'll take Forum. And looks like Seize the Spoils wheeled? No, this is not the pack. I think this is a new pack. I think it's pack 10 or pick 10 where there's some cards I wanted that could potentially wheel. I'll take the mascot. I don't think any of the things I wanted wheeled. I could take Return the Favor. This card's kind of interesting. Sort of a counterspell. A little bit on the expensive side. And I can take Mika here, I guess. Don't want those other cards. Historian could maybe make it in, but I doubt it. Ooh. There's Magma Blood Archaic. I think it would be very strong in the deck. But there's also Moment of Reckoning, which I know is double white and double black, but I have these two white-black lands that I have. It could actually be useful if I take this. This could definitely be wrong. It could definitely be extremely greedy as well. But I want it. I just turn into like a little loot goblin when I draft this set, apparently. I just want all the shiny things. I think now I take Vibrant Outburst. The card is quite good. I mean, I could take the Hope Singer. Is Hope Singer better? Hope Singer is an absurdly good card. I have 2 white lands in the deck I'm gonna play already. Maybe this deck will just be heavier on the white. Maybe do like a lore hold based like a Converge deck. Like maybe I take Inkshape Demonstrator. This is really interesting. I've almost always been blue when I play Converge, but maybe I could be lore hold. Huh. That is really interesting. The Demonstrator is like a very good stabilizing card for this kind of deck. I have lots of ways to trigger it. Yeah, let's go for it. Okay, this is kind of fascinating. Also, the Studious First Tier and the Hydro Channeler did not wheel from pack 1, which is important to note. Here I could take Divergent Equation or Big Score. Those are the cards I'm looking at right now. I think it's Big Score. I might not play blue in this deck, actually. It's kind of wild. Ooh, Library? I love Library. Let's take it. This is great artwork, too. Okay, and there's a Hydro Channeler, which I do like, but I don't have that many blue cards yet. I wonder if I still take it. I could just take the Archaic's Agony, and that's also a really good card. I think I want to stick to the experiment of Converge without heavy blue. I could still play blue cards, but I think maybe I just splash a little bit of blue if I see like a really, really good blue card. Don't want any of these. Guess I take, what, Royal Treatment? Maybe I play that one. Hey, there's another Hydro Channeler. It's also Transcendent Archaic. This card's quite good in the Converge deck. I'll just take that. So this deck has pretty good top end at this point. I guess Strife Scholar might make it in. I think Grapple with Death is the most likely one here as well. Ooh. Yeah, maybe I play Spell Pierce. It sounds so stupid, but I'm not playing any of these other cards. And I guess Procrastinate is slightly more likely than Masterful Flourish there. Witherbloom I'm not all that interested in. I am really interested in the Arcane Omens, though. That card is really messed up. If I'm lucky, I get the Wheel Potioner's Trove. This feels like a very unique take on the Converge deck. I've never gone in this direction with it before. It's like Mardu Converge. Now I can take Repel Calamity. I think better than Stand Up For Yourself, just because it's cheaper. I'm sure this hits more things, but I think the mana efficiency is good. I could also take Potioner's Trove, but I think I want the good card. And let's just take Johnny's Response here, I think. I still need a few more playables. Wait, what is this? Empty the warrens? No, I'm probably not emptying the warrens here. Okay, and I can take a land here. I am playing some black cards, so this is useful. Try just to get the Strife Scholar out of here for the moment. And maybe take a Terramorphic here. Seems pretty good to me. Second Arcane Omens. Yeah, I'm in for that. And maybe in this deck I take an Acolyte. It's a pretty good defensive 2-drop. Take a second at Johnny's response, that's pretty good. I'm really curious to see how this deck does. So let's cut the blue cards. These are all kind of bad. Maybe I take Zombify. I have Big Score, and I've Seized the Spoils. Oh no, just take land, actually. Fields of Strife is good. Yes, Dual Tactics can trigger Repartee twice, sure. Hopefully don't play that one. Might have to play Alan Historian in this deck. Okay, I'll play Glassrite. Actually, it looks decent. I'll play the Archaic as well. Big 12 is kind of where I want to pick up something like this. And maybe I play the Baiter as well, just to fill in the curve a little bit. Well, I don't have to cut any cards, so there's that. Do I want a forest in this deck? Kind of interesting. Unfortunately, didn't wheel any of those Potioner's Trove. Would have loved to have seen those come back. This is definitely a weird one. I think I do want a forest or an island in here. Maybe not both, because I have some treasures. Those could fill in for the lands. I have a lot of red. How many red sources? 7, 8, 9. Okay, that's enough. And then for white, I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I could go down 1 plains. It's a little bit risky, but I think it might be worth to get an island in here. I wonder if I cut library. It definitely doesn't seem like a library deck, does it? The library is so good. The reason it doesn't look like a library deck, by the way, is because I look to be just tapping out and playing a bunch of creatures on my turn. Like I've got 10 creatures, which is kind of a lot for Converge, I feel like. It makes my colors better. It's maybe a little bit greedy to play library in a deck that's trying to cast all 5 colors. Actually, I think here's what I do. I'm gonna cut a spell for a land and run 18 lands. It kind of makes sense in this deck. Right? Because I've got Big Score and Seize the Spoils in case I flood. I can just cut the Rehearsed Debater, which isn't doing anything in this deck anyways. And then I run an island. Yeah, alright. Let's try this. Okay, this is keepable. I get to grab plains here. Hopefully draw a 3rd land for the Hope Singer. I miss on land. It's looking a little bit bad for me, I have to admit. But if I can hit 2 more lands, I can go like Big Score plus Mika. That seems pretty strong. Okay, nice. I hit the lands. Do I offer the trade, I wonder? I think I don't. This card is just so much better if I can get a counter on it. Ooh, and they don't have removal. That is great for me. I drew the library. That's funny. I think I just play Tome Blast. Maybe attack with both of these. See what they do. I think blocking with the Rebel Rouser makes sense there. Oh, they don't block with anything. Okay. Oh, wow. I have not played with Tone Blast very much. I thought this was an instant. That was not a good attack right there. If they actually blocked, I would have been in some trouble. Alright, never punished, I guess. Could have been really bad. Okay, Tester is fine. And are they not going to tap the Rouser? Okay. Would just go main phase Tome Blast here. I think what I want to do is get Mika on board. So let's attack with these two, see what they do. I guess maybe I should have played land to have a Johnny's response up. I could pay the full 5 for destroy target creature. Okay, they just take all the damage. Interesting. That might mean they're holding up Essence Scatter or something. Kinda want to just pass. Maybe hold up big score. Discard this mountain, I don't really need this that much. Sky Coach and Conductor, okay. Do I want to a Giant's response, Rubble Rouser in response? I think maybe I just want to play big score. Yeah, let's just play big score. And I do technically still have a Giant's response up, but it's a lot worse with the Sky Conductor on the field. Okay. So it looks like they're playing a 5-cost thing or something. Oh, they're playing Berta, okay. Attacking with just the Conductor. Ooh. Practical Joke is quite the draw. So I could play Mika, play Impractical Joke. They get to save something with Sky Conductor, but that might be fine. I could also just play Joke on the Conductor, just right away. Let's play Mika and Impractical Joke on the Conductor, no copy. Okay, they want to use that. Sure. Get their 1/4 back. I think that's fine. Then do I want to attack with the 2-drop? I think no. I think I just leave it there. Attack with just the flyer. Okay, tablet is strong. Let's see what they hit off of this. They hit Essence Scatter, not what they're looking for sure. That's one of the issues with running tablet in these blue decks. Sometimes you just hit counter spells and it's not very good. So there's actually an interesting thing here. I think maybe I can cast a Giant's Response for 2 mana and then copy it with Mika and not spend the additional mana. So I can kill 2 creatures as long as I target the 1/4. That should be pretty good. They have a 1 mana spell they can cast here? No? Alright. Probably no attacks from them. With planes. I'm wondering if I just attack with everything here. I have a second Mika in my hand, so I don't even care if it trades with one of their 4/4s here. I think I'm supposed to a Giant's Response before they block, so that they can't block with Berta. Then let's sacrifice an artifact, copy a Giant's Response, target Berta. That was pretty cool. Now, let's also play land. Attack with both of these. Honestly, just attack with everything. They probably double block the Mika here, but I have a second one in my hand. Which one do I want to kill? Maybe just the Tester? I'm not that worried about them looting with the Stadium Tidal Mage. They have to attack if they want to do that. Oh, and they're dead. I guess they needed the chump. I also didn't think about that. I naturally assumed they would block in a way where they didn't die, but I guess that's not a given. Alright, up against Sam and Frodo here. Ooh. Opening with Library? That's nice. That is a sick draw, wow. I just got to go Library next turn? Play a tap land? Oh my goodness. That is awesome. Well, I just get to draw 2 cards every turn this game. I think I get plain still. Alright, draw another. Oh wait, I have too many cards. Hold on. Let's play Mountain, I guess? Do I play the Hope Singer? Do I play nothing? I guess I play nothing, right? And just draw off Library. That seems better to me than just Tome Blasting their face. Oh, this is so sweet. I'm so glad I kept this in. Yep, Robo Rouser is fine. Seize the Spoils is interesting. Now I can just play the Hope Singer, maybe? The Hope Singer doesn't even look that amazing on this board, honestly. I don't have that many things that target. They might just overreact and kill it right away. Yeah, let's play Hope Singer, leave up library activation. And if they can't kill it, it is actually like a pretty good threat. You can play Demonstrator, put counters on that. Okay, looks like they can't even kill it. My next turn might just be Big Score. I can go Big Score, Moment of Reckoning. That would be so awesome. Okay, let's draw a card here. Oh, Giant's Response is good too. Let's play the Plains. And I need to play something this turn, or else I have to discard. So maybe the Demonstrator? Man, this is tough. I have so many cards in my hand. Yeah, let's play Demonstrator. I think I don't need to rush into Moment of Reckoning. And do I want to double block the Tidal Mage, honestly? I don't think I need to. I think I can just attack with this. And if they attack with Tidal Mage, I get to go Giant's Response next turn. Yeah, I mean, Library on the play is pretty nice. It's drawn me like, what, 4 cards at this point? Okay, they have Giant's Response, but I can get that back with Moment of Reckoning. Stone Glider is fine. Kinda wish they played something I could kill with Tone Blast. Okay, they get to discard a Tone Blast. That's pretty good value. Draw a card here. Oh, with Shattered Sanctum, I might be able to just play the Moment of Reckoning without treasures. So what is my turn here? Johnny's Response and Big Score looks pretty good. I could also just play Seize the Spoils and play a tap land. That's fine as well. So let's play this first. Probably just playing that. And I imagine they want to trade with the Stone Glider. I think it'd be kind of crazy not to trade here. Okay. Now I have 8 cards in my hand. Let's just play Sanctum. And I guess I could play Seize the Spoils. And then I still get to activate Library? Sure. Oh, wow. There's no need to do this, but I kind of want to. I just want the achievement that I've drawn with Library every turn that I can. It's pretty good. They get to exile card and get a 2/2 here. Oh, and a docent? Alright. Let's draw a card here. Into another Shattered Sanctum, sure. So play this, play Moment of Reckoning. I guess I could use the treasure too if I want to keep up library. Hold on, I have 8 cards right now? Yeah, I guess I'll use the treasure. There's no need to do this, is the funniest part. Destroy permanent, return permanent, return permanent. Destroy these two, return these two. Oh gosh. Oh goodness. I just love this set. This is this might be the best set of the year. I'm calling it early. Sure, I'll block. Draw another card here, make sure I'm not decking myself. Okay, and... well, now what I can do is, Impractical Joke, or I can Arcane Omens, get the rest of their hands. I guess I will sacrifice Library activation this turn, so that, I can also, play my red spells here. God, this was just a total victory. This was not even remotely close. Yeah. Yep. Post-commentary whale chiming in here. The reason I'm here is because at this point in the video, I have muted my microphone and I haven't realized it yet. That's right, folks, I'm not very smart. I'm a bit of a dummy in this moment, you'll have to forgive me. I also keep a very sketchy hand here. The mana isn't that bad in this deck, so having 4 mountains in your starting hand is definitely on the low end. But I keep it anyways, just because there's Together as one. And I'm a greedy little loot goblin, as we've established before. At the very least, I could make a treasure with this goblin and get a second color. It's very interesting there that they discard the Elite Interceptor there as well. It's a very good card. Oh yeah, and to make matters worse, I draw a 5th mountain instead of a second color. At this point, I'm thinking of using Return the Favor on the actual trigger of the Ascendant Dustspeaker to put a counter on my guy. But then I think about it a little bit more and I realize it's going to get +2 power because of their enchantment over there. And it doesn't even result in my goblin winning the fight here, so I decide against it. It would also use up the treasure, which is currently my only source of another color besides red. So Mika here is okay on the board. They play out a Glyph Mage. So I only get attacked for 3 there. And I've drawn to a Johnny's Response, but I don't have white mana to copy it. My only source of white mana is from the treasure itself. I think for a while here, and I eventually decide that I have to use Practical Joke and copy it with Mika's ability. And my main hope here is that they try to use a removal spell against Mika, because if they do, I get to redirect it and copy it with Return the Favor. And removal is very plentiful in this set. I think 9 times out of 10 this would have worked out just fine, but this one guy just has random dudes to play on this turn, which is the worst for me. And so now I go down 2, and I draw another white card, and there's pretty much nothing to be done at this point. Again, I could hope that they use a removal against Mika, but it's so unlikely that would actually save me that I just get out of there. So that was just kind of a bad hand. I shouldn't have kept that. This hand is also a little bit sketchy, but I at least have 2 colors of mana. I'm on the draw with 2 lands, and I have a 2-drop that I can play, so I end up deciding to keep this one. I think this one's a bit more defensible. And here I consider playing the Impractical Joke, but decide that the Goblin is a little bit better to develop. It's also just more mana efficient. I'm not that afraid of a Hydro Channeler. So they unfortunately abrade my Goblin. And I don't even draw a 3rd land, which is just injustice in my opinion. Okay, and here I draw my 3rd land, I get to play my 3-drop. Sort of expecting it to die, but I don't feel as though keeping up a Johnny's Response is any better. And they kind of kill it in the worst way. They use a flashback on a braid, meaning that they even get a 2-drop. But they get a 2/2 rather. Library is also looking rather poor in this match. I don't imagine I'll be up to 7 cards here. Stock Up is good and bad for me to see. It's bad in that Stock Up is a very good card, but it's sort of good in that it gives me hope that the Arcane Omens will actually be live cards, if they're just going to draw cards instead of develop the board. Here I'm thinking of casting Big Score end of their turn to try and play around a counter, but then I decide I can't really afford to do that. I just need to cast this on my turn to try and hit a land drop. And I discard one of the Omens. So they have a response, but it's not a counter, thankfully. A counter on Big Score is pretty brutal, because you you discard a card as cost. So it's just a very clean 2 for 1 if you have a counterspell. And now, because I drew Moment of Reckoning, I can actually kind of get back into this game. I think I'm considering if I want to cast Arcane Omens here or not. So the problem with playing Arcane Omens on this turn is that they have the Landscape Painter and the Sky Coach Conductor, which means if I try to play Omens, they still get to draw 2 cards with Painter's ability, and if I try to play Moment of Reckoning and target the Painter, they can protect with the Conductor. So I'm thinking at the moment my best play is to play Moment of Reckoning, target the Conductor and the token, and then return 2 of my own creatures. And then my plan is essentially to wait for them to cast the draw 2 off of the Painter before I cast Arcane Omens. They have a Prismari Charm there. And instead of drawing, they decide to use a removal spell on my 3-drop, which I'm also fine with. I think here I am again thinking about Arcane Omens, but ultimately I decide on playing out my 2 creatures. Just need to make sure I play my land first so that auto tapper doesn't get me. So that's what I've been waiting for. I can now use the treasures to get his remaining cards out of hand, and he even taps out. In which case I don't even need to use the treasures. I do need to manually tap the Arcane Omens, which is a little bit annoying. By default, Arena will consume the treasures just to get the maximal amount of colors. So I kind of have to tap manually to preserve my treasures. And they discard a Tome Blast, which is actually a way to trigger the Opus on their Fire Dancer, meaning that on their next turn it will be a 3/3 double strike. And now I'm just deciding how much to attack with. I think attacking with the 2-drops is reasonable, but I think I want to keep Mika back on defense so I don't take 6 from that Fire Dancer. I also put a stop here to surveil my upkeep with my Fields of Strife. Perhaps not the best play, but I figure I have so much mana, I have these 2 treasure tokens, I could probably surveil and still make some sort of play. I think this is also the first time I've ever seen anybody play that card. Was it Fractal Anomaly or something? It makes a fractal with the amount of counters equal to the number of cards they've drawn that turn. So it's just a 1 mana make a 1/1. Transcendent Archaic, obviously incredible in this board state. I just get to cash in my treasures, cast it for all 5 colors, draw 5 cards, discard 2. And I figured this should pretty much lock up the game. I even draw it together as one, just to put the nail in the coffin. And then the treasure from the goblin even makes it so that I can cast it for one more color than usual. This is actually a pretty good hand. It has 4 of my colors, it has Arcane Omens, it has a removal spell for turn 2. Kind of happy to see a turn 2 flow stage from my opponent, generally. Usually it means that they are really digging for a land, or they just really don't have that many sorceries in their deck. Opponent is a fellow goblin Blast Right Enjoyer. So on my next turn, I do have the option of playing Arcane Omens for 4 colors. It's just very suspicious that they passed with 5 mana and didn't do anything. I decide to attack first, see if they want to use a removal spell on Mika. And when they pass again, I decide that it's probably best to cast the Archaic's Agony instead and just test the waters a little bit. The Arcane Omens is so powerful that as long as it doesn't get countered, it kind of wins the game for me in this position. So I go with Agony here. And I'm thinking if they don't counter this, they could be thinking about using removal on their own goblin to try and blank the Archaic's Agony. Fortunately, I don't hit the best cards off of the Agony. I don't have a 3rd red, so I can't cast the goblin and then cast the prepared spell to make a treasure. And I already have a Mekon in the field, and it's legendary. So here I cut it out, but they end up tanking for a while and then just pass turn anyways, which again is kind of suspicious, kind of implies that they're keeping up counter magic. So again, I decide when they don't remove Mika, I'm just going to slow row the Arcane Omens. My main hope is that they just tap out for some sort of creature that I can kill with Repel Calamity. My fear as well is that they have a card like Repay the Favor. Repay the Favor on Arcane Omens is basically like a 10 for 1. Instead of them discarding all of their cards, I have to discard all of mine. So while Arcane Omens could be very powerful, I feel like I'm in a good enough position on the board that I don't have to go for it right away. Again, because if they have Repay the Favor, I basically lose the game right away. So here they play a whale, I get to use Repel Calamity on something. Then I really think about Arcane Omens, but again, I'm just very concerned about Repay the Favor, because they have that treasure token there as well. And then ultimately I decide not to go for it. You could argue that this is a mistake, and that I shouldn't try to play around this one uncommon. But again, I feel like I'm sitting on a bunch of removal. I am ahead so much on life total that I don't have to go for it right away. Okay, and Colorstorm Stallion is legitimately a very, very threatening card. And this turn I don't have the mana to cast a Giant's Response on it and pay for the ward one. So I have to pass, it's my turn. And so I decide on this turn, this is where I want to cast the Omens. The one problem with casting this is that I only have 2 mana afterwards, which is not enough to cast Response on the Stallion and pay for the ward once more. Also here I'm manually tapping because they only have 4 cards and I don't need the 5th color from the treasure token. And it turns out they have Mana Sculpt anyways. It's very likely they've been keeping that up for the past few turns, and then my Arcane Omens would not have done very much. But it's not guaranteed that they had it, so there was a chance I could have played it before and had it resolve. But I think ultimately, most of the time it would have ended up at about the spot. Here they spend their whole turn casting Burst Lightning. Make a copy of the Stallion. And here, it's not that I'm at a super low life total or anything, but I place very little value on the Goblin, so I decide I should just chump with it here, with preserve 5 life. And now I have the very interesting decision of if I want to cast Arcane Omens, or if I want to just destroy one of the Stallions. I can't destroy both because one of them is untapped. It's honestly a little bit weird to me that he only attacked with one, I guess deciding that he wanted a blocker for the Goblin in case I didn't chump. Okay, and here they play Encouraging Aviator, which means that I take 8 here from the 2 Stallions. They can use their land to prepare their creature. Very straightforward turn here. Just use the 2 Ajani's responses that killed the 2 Stallions. So now I go down to 4, and they have a pair of 2/3s here. I almost decided to play the Transcendent Archaic here, which likely would have lost me the game on the spot. Because their encouraging Aviator can cast Jump, and the Archaic doesn't have Reach, both of their creatures would be able to get in for lethal. So I catch that, and instead I cast Big Score. And I'm intentionally discarding Seize the Spoils here, because I want a land in hand, specifically in case I draw it together as one. I want to be able to play a land and still have the mana to cast it in the same turn. And turns out I do draw it. So that was a huge draw. I needed to draw something this turn in order to stay alive, and I drew probably the best card in my deck for that. I mean, it's just such an insane card there. I can kill their guy, draw 5 and gain 5. And now this game is pretty much locked up. I can simply play Hope Singer plus Demonstrator and kill their last remaining creature. They have one last turn to draw something good, and they do draw a decent top deck, but they don't really have any mana to play anything else here. Here I'm just going to cast Archaic, draw 4, discard 2. And I draw the Tome Blast, which is just lethal. Moving their Painter, putting counters on both my creatures. Here this hand is actually quite good. I have the Goblin to make a treasure, and then I can even ramp into an Arcane Omens on turn 4. As sort of a side note, I have actually been somewhat impressed by Mika. I don't think it's performing the best on 17 lands right now or anything, but it is kind of nice with all these powerful spells, and the Big Score and Seize the Spoils to generate treasures, as well as the Goblin here. Here, I'm just setting up for a turn 4 Arcane Omens or Archaic's Agony, depending on which one I want. So, my opponent plays a Magma Blood Archaic, which is a very powerful card, and I'm deciding if I want to try to attack with the Goblin first, maybe finish it off with Archaic's Agony, but ultimately Arcane Omens looks like the best play here. Just Mind Twist them for 4. It has to be good. I mean, we didn't come here to not Mind Twist the opponent. Let's be real. Okay, and it's at this point where I'm kind of terrified by what's in the graveyard. Stress Dream, Artistic Prowess, and our Vibrant Outburst, these are all amazing cards. Stress Dream is one of the best uncommons in the whole set. And so I figured their last remaining card has to be really, really powerful. Tester is likely what they drew that turn. It doesn't make sense to keep Tester in hand over all those other ones. Given the pause there, also, I can kind of tell that their last card is an instant that they can play there. So there is some clue as to what it could be. I'm also very glad to trade the Mika there for their Archaic, considering I have another one in hand. And now, I think it makes sense to play out the two creatures rather than play Archaic's Agony. I just want to develop the board a little bit. It does mean that their Tester gets another counter, but I think that's fine. So here we go, Archaic's Agony for 3 colors. And I get a Mountain and a Johnny's Response. Honestly, not the worst hits. Them knowing about the response makes it a bit worse, but at the very least I can cast it for the full 5 mana on my turn. And now we find out that the card he kept in hand this whole time was Traumatic Critique, which makes sense. It is a very, very powerful card. It was just a bit too expensive on those previous turns that weren't playing. So play land, play Johnny's Response, and I get to keep up Return to Favor. So at this point, I'm actually feeling rather comfortable with my spots. Return to Favor, I believe, is uniquely very strong against Prismari and these sort of Prismari Converge decks. Some of the most powerful cards in Prismari are things like Crackle with Power, things like Math Magics, or a Traumatic Critique for a huge number. If you cast Return the Favor, and you redirect it or copy it, it can be game-winning versus those cards. And it's not even a matter of card advantage at that point, right? Because if you redirect a Crackle with Power where it deals 15 to 20 damage, you're not just up on a card, you steal the game at that point. I do consider for a moment not playing the Archaic here and just continue to hold up Return the Favor. The issue is that it takes a very long time for me to draw enough lands to play Archaic and still hold up Return the Favor. So I decide I should just play out the Archaic. It draws a bunch of cards, it puts a bunch of pressure on the opponent. The Terramorphic is also kind of nice here. I get to grab an island and have a 4th color for Together as One. They draw a Pigment Wrangler, which I can just kill with the Johnny's Response. So let's grab the island, and then cast a Johnny's Response here. Moment of Reckoning is also pretty funny, but I don't have a second black to cast it. And here, this is completely unnecessary, but I'm thinking about the fact that I can play together as one and then copy with Return to Favor. And the funny part is that if you copy it, it doesn't even do anything because no colors of mana were spent on it. So it's just together as one with 0 color spent. And pretty soon we're going to switch back to live commentary because I'm going to realize that the mic is muted in 3, 2... Oh, shit! I've been muted this whole time? Oh my fucking god, I have to do like post-commentary now. Oh, I'm such an idiot. I wonder how long I was muted for. I'll keep this. Right, they have a pretty fast start here. I could play library. Sure. I guess I will play it. I think I play Seize the Spoils. Discard planes? Just discard planes. Okay. Maybe then I go Mika and then try to copy together as one. Although it doesn't work, does it? When you copy them, they don't have their colors, so it doesn't count. Yeah, I've learned this now. Things can go so wrong for me if I just play Mika. But I don't really have better options, right? I can play Arcane Omens, but then I take, what, 8? Then I only have 5 mana next turn. Maybe that's my best option. Go down to 6, and then I have to stabilize with Together as one, I think. I think I just have to do this. I might lose this game, but I think this is my best chance. Well, they discarded Eternal Student, that's not good for me. Oh, but they didn't play it, okay. It's still pretty bad for me, I gotta say. Now I have to just play Mika, and then I'm dead anyways? Alright. So, is there anything else I can do? I can, like, big score, but I don't have, like, a sweep or anything, yeah. That's fine. Okay. I don't have white mana, but I do have 3 colors and a big score, so I think I keep this. And of course I draw a white card. Okay, there's a plane, so that's good. So now I can go big score into Arcane Omens and hold something off with Repel Calamity or a Johnny's Response. Yeah, let's just play the response here. Okay, Sloth is a pretty good card. Let's play the island. This unfortunately doesn't exile, so he's gonna get 2 pests out of it. Let's just pass and play big score next turn. Or end of turn. Armory Healer is fine. Discard Swamp. Draw 2. Oh. Moment of Reckoning is good. I don't have things in the graveyard to get back, but I think that's going to be very important in the future. For now, I can just play Sanctum and Arcane Omens the rest of their hand. Just gotta make sure I don't spend the treasure here, I don't need to. Alright, what do they discard? Pterofractal, Grapple, Death, Matter Bending Mage. Oh, so I guess they are like Sultai or something. Sure. Do I repel Calamity to save some life here? It's a little bit of a waste of the treasure is the only issue. I don't think I play it. I think I want to play Archaic next turn. Draw a bunch of cards. Okay, let's play Mountain, then Archaic. Draw some cards. Ooh, I even drew into Impractical Joke. Let's discard 2 lands. I drew together as one as well. Do I play Impractical Joke now? I don't think it's necessary. Let's see what they draw this turn. Hopefully it's just a creature I can destroy with Moment of Reckoning here. Okay, it is a creature. A very good one at that. Maybe let's just attack with Archaic first. If they want to trade, I'm pretty happy with that. Okay. So I can get the Sloth. I think that's what I do. They get their pest tokens here. But then I get to cast Moment of Reckoning. Destroy 3 permanents and get back my Archaic. Seems pretty good to me. I will not use the ability. End the turn. Yeah, I would say the game's pretty over. Are they gonna stick in it just to see what they draw here? I don't know. I feel like if you're in this position, you maybe have better things to do with your time than to stay in this game, but I guess they want to fight it out, sure. Let's attack with this. Okay. I think that's 6 and 2 now. Let's see if we can get the 7 wins. Okay, let's play the Glass Right. Probably go seize the spoils next turn. Oh. I guess I could do that instead. Just make a treasure and attack. I could Arcane Omens next turn. It'd be for what, 3 cards? Actually, I can make it 4 turns, can't I? Or I can make it 4 cards. If I play the Craft with Pride, it's neutral on mana, but +1 on colors. So now I can discard all the cards in their hand, which is pretty sweet. Yep. Ooh, those were some good ones too. Mozio, Silverquill Charm, Last Gasp. Those would have been very good. Just draw land here. Alright. Let's play Seize the Spoils. Discard Fields of Strife, I think? Maybe Terramorphic. Let's just discard Terramorphic. Okay, Archaic should be good. I can cast that next turn. No tax here, and I can hold up a Johnny's Response, but I'd rather not use the treasure token. Just Bitter Triumph. Okay, it looks like I will use up the treasure token. I don't want them to draw a card here. Hey, there's Big Score. I like that. Let's cast that, discard Mountain. Now I'm just paranoid that my mic is muted. Do I want to kill their Banemaker? I guess it's fine. I'm gonna refill in a moment here. Okay, Island is actually pretty good. I could discard it though, but it makes the rest of my draws much better if I play it. So let's just play this, play the Archaic. Draw 5 here, I believe? Yeah, all 5 cards. Discard 2. This card has been pretty good this draft. Okay, and now I can discard 2 lands. Play Moment of Reckoning. Actually, I should discard, like, Mika or something. Or Demonstrator, sure. Keep the land for a Moment of Reckoning. If I play Mika first, I might be able to copy Moment of Reckoning with Mika's ability. That would be so sweet. Okay, they get rid of that. Yeah, I think it's gonna happen. So let's play this, and then attack for 6 here. Really just everything I wanted to happen happened in this one. Together as one as well, but it doesn't work with Mika. The copy doesn't have the colors. So yeah, let's Moments of Reckoning. Destroy 2 non-land permanents, get 2 back. Destroy this, get these 2 back. There's not even anything to destroy, is the issue. Oh, now there is actually something to get back. Oh, I love this so much. This was awesome. Let me just screenshot this little moment here. With the treasure token there. Oh man, who knew that this would work? Mardu Converge. I mean, it does have some of the strongest cards in the format with Together as One, Moment of Reckoning. I've tried to play Moment of Reckoning in like a teamer shell for Converge, but it didn't really work out. It was too many off-color pips, but because I'm playing base white, it actually wasn't too hard on the mana. So this was very cool. And yeah, just getting there on treasures instead of actual like land fetching. This was awesome.